The text came at 11:47 p.m., glowing on my phone like a dare. I'm glad you finally understand. This is for the best. No name. No heart emoji. Just those words, clean, calm, final. I was sitting alone in our living room, the lamp still on, her mug still on the table where she'd left it that morning. I remember thinking how strange it was that a sentence so short could make a decade of my life feel like it had just been erased. She thought it was over in her favor. At that moment I think I did too. It didn't start with a betrayal. It started with silence. First it was small things. Missed calls that went straight to voicemail. Texts answered hours later with one-word replies. Busy. Later. Can't talk. I told myself I was being insecure. She had a demanding job. Stress does things to people. Love meant patience. But patience slowly turned into waiting. Waiting for her to come home. Waiting for her to look at me the way she used to. Waiting for reassurance that never came. She began guarding her phone like it held state secrets. Screen down. Password changed. If I walked into a room while she was texting, she'd tilt the phone away without thinking, muscle memory. Once, when I picked it up to check the time, she snatched it from my hand so fast she knocked it onto the floor. Why are you acting like that? I asked. I'm not, she said too quickly. You're imagining things. So I did what most people do when love starts to crack. I blamed myself. Maybe I was boring. Maybe I didn't listen enough. Maybe this was what long marriages looked like and no one warned you. I replayed old conversations in my head, wondering where I'd gone wrong. I tried harder. Cooked dinners. Asked about her day. Planned weekends she always canceled. The distance only grew. She started staying late at work. Then working weekends. Then crashing at a friend's place because she was too tired to drive home. Her excuses sounded reasonable until I noticed they never came with details. Names were vague. Stories changed. One night, while brushing my teeth, I heard her laugh in the other room. Not her polite laugh. Her real one, the one she used to give me when I whispered something stupid in her ear. My stomach dropped. When I walked in, she ended the call immediately. Who was that? I asked. Just a coworker, she said. Why are you interrogating me? I apologized. Again. The thing about betrayal is that your body often knows before your mind is ready to accept it. I stopped sleeping. My chest felt tight all the time. Every notification sound made my heart race. Love turned into a quiet dread that followed me everywhere. The truth revealed itself by accident. Her laptop chimed while she was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. I swear that. It was just there on the couch, open, the screen lighting up with a message preview. I miss you already. Tonight meant everything. My hands started shaking before my brain fully caught up. I sat there staring, hoping it would disappear. It didn't. I clicked. There were weeks of messages. Not explicit. Worse. Emotional. Intimate. Inside jokes. Complaints about me. About how I didn't understand her anymore. How she felt alive with him. Plans disguised as coincidences. Hotel names I recognized from her work trips. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt hollow, like someone had scooped me out and left a shell behind. When she came out of the bathroom, towel on her head, she saw my face and knew. You went through my things? She said, anger flashing first before guilt could catch up. Who is he? My voice didn't sound like mine. She sat down slowly, like someone accepting a sentence. It just happened. That phrase. As if betrayal were weather. She said she hadn't planned it. That she felt neglected. That she still cared about me but needed space. She cried. Not the kind of crying that begs forgiveness, but the kind that asks to be understood. I asked if she loved him. She didn't answer right away. That pause told me everything. In the weeks that followed, she moved into the guest room, then into an apartment temporarily. She spoke about the affair like a chapter she was closing, about us like a story that had already ended. You'll be okay, she said once gently. You're strong. That's when I realized something devastating. She thought she had one. She had the new life, the new love, the moral high ground of following her truth. I was just the sad aftermath she'd eventually forget. And for a while I let her believe that. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I didn't expose her. I signed the papers quietly. I answered her texts politely. I nodded through her explanations like they still mattered. But while she was busy starting over, I was doing something else. I was choosing myself. I started therapy. Not to save the marriage, but to understand why I'd been willing to disappear inside it. I reconnected with friends I'd neglected. I sold the house we'd lived in and bought a small place that felt like mine for the first time in years. And then came my last decision. On the day our divorce finalized, she sent me a message. I hope there are no hard feelings. I really do wish you the best. I stared at it for a long time before replying. There aren't. I just wanted to let you know. I'm not the same person you left behind. That was it. No bitterness. No blame. Just truth. Weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that things with him weren't what she'd imagined. That the excitement faded. That guilt has a way of resurfacing when the fantasy collapses. She texted once more. Do you ever think about us? I did. Just not the way she hoped. I think about what I learned, I wrote back. And I'm grateful I learned it when I did. I haven't heard from her since. Some endings don't come with closure conversations or dramatic apologies. Sometimes closure is realizing you survived something that was meant to break you, and came out with your self-respect intact. She thought it was over in her favor. But the moment I chose myself, everything changed. For both of us.